Blizzard dropping nice news yesterday about midnight. We got some interesting updates coming out about things happening, people dying, main characters, changes to Stormwind and Orgrimmar maybe, and Blizzard's pre-patch event in the current game. We got some stuff to get into, so let's just jump straight in. Blizzard understands this pre-patch event, it's a little bit boring. They're decided to drop some hot fixes that are trying to get things up and running just a bit quicker here. So first off, ritual boss health has been adjusted to make them last longer. That's right, a little bit longer lasting. We all want to last a little bit longer. Also, the price from gear vendors, 40 insignias down to 20. So basically cut in half, 50% off all the shit that you're going to be buying from this event. And then later today, probably already deployed now that I'm talking about it, bosses will start spawning every 5 minutes rather than 10. That's right. So we're going to be getting things a little bit quicker here. No longer will we be sitting on that floating rock for 10 minutes waiting for the next boss to spawn. It'll be every 5, which is, I guess, is a little bit more bearable. So there you go. Those are Blizzard's hot fixes into this pre-patch event. Honestly, the event, maybe one of the most lame ones we've gotten in quite a while. I mean, the pre-patch events haven't been great for a little while now. It's I would say maybe BFAs was the last kind of good one. Obviously, Legions was, you know, it was exemplary with the freaking Legion invasions and everything. This one's just, you know, they could have done more. I don't know. They could have done freaking Void invasions for all I care. Would have been cool to see that kind of stuff, but I think they played it safe. You got some bosses spawning around a zone. You fly around, kill them. There's not enough quests to do every day. I think we could have had more quests to do. And then just gather your insignias and buy some shit. I mean, that's really it. Other than that, it's really learning how to play your class rotation again, fixing your UI, and just prepping for midnight. We got a prep for midnight video dropping soon that I'll react to, so we'll get into that. But, yeah, pre-patch event. Nothing too great. But Blizzard's still trying to fix things, as I said before. They also have, there's an event rare tracker add-on out there if you want to get it, guys. I'm playing without add-ons. I suggest you do too. But if you're dying to have a tracker out there, there is a creator, Zamsos TV, who has the Midnight Twilight Ascensions pre-patch add-on. I'll link this in the chat. You can also, what's it called? Link it. See the link down below if you're watching it on YouTube. But you can get this thing. Go ahead and download it if you want. It tracks all the guys and where they are in the map. So you're flying around killing bosses. Makes it a little bit easier. Honestly, all I did was sit on top of the rock in the center of the zone. And whenever everyone dived off to go fight a boss, I just followed them. I didn't even fucking know who was spawning or what was going on. I was just following them. But anyways, moving on to some maybe more exciting stuff. Yeah, the trading post hasn't been exciting maybe in a little bit of a while, but February's trading post is looking pretty damn cool. First off, we have 12 past monthly bonus rewards, right? The reward that you get at the end of filling out your trading post will be made available for purchase with Trader's Tender in February's trading post. So that in and of itself is a pretty big deal, right? Being able to buy some of those things that maybe you missed out on. Maybe you went on vacation 1 month in the summer, didn't fill out that trading post. Well, you're going to be able to buy a lot of the things that were end-of-game trading posts, including the Uwu outfit. I mean, who doesn't want that one? Come on. So that's a nice thing. But also, besides that, February's trading post is looking absolutely glorious. We have Blood Elf-themed golden weapons and even an Anubis-looking set. I mean, damn. Look at this thing. By the way, I love the Egyptian theme, and wow, I wish we got more of it. I wish we got Sethrek. I do, but you know what? Again, I'm not going to get into the Harnir discussion again, but anyways, there you go. We have a nice little Anubis set. Let's get into some other things being made available on this trading post. We have this badass-looking Cloudborn Razorwing mount. This thing looks so damn unique. Obviously, it's on the Proto-Drake skeleton, but holy shit, look at the head and everything. This is a nice looking mount. Definitely something I'm going to want to get. Even the wings are very unique, the way they're cut and everything. Yeah, so this is a very good looking mount. Again, an exciting trading post for what lately really hasn't been an exciting trading post. So nice to see that. We also have a few other things here. Armor transmog appearances. You got the Ornate Lunar Festival one. This one, the Ensemble of the Southern Guards Golden Remnant. This thing is cool, man. It really is. I love this theme. We don't have a lot of really Egyptian-themed gear style stuff in the game. So this is a really nice one. I think one that a lot of people want to get. And then we have a bunch of other stuff here. Yeah, okay, your sweats and all that stuff. A lot of sweats in this game now. Not just players, but just like the transmog in general. And then a bunch of other things here. Quivers and stuff. Swords. Nice-looking sword. Again, I wonder if we're getting hints at something to come here. But a lot of like... a Nubian style gear and stuff. So we'll see. And then a staff here. We got a nice little crossbow, little bow as well. Polearm, Blood Elf themed. I'm getting Blood Elf vibes from some of this. Yep, I think we're in Blood Elf themed gear now. We got a nice little fister right there. A bow, short little bow, and a few other things. This month's bonus reward, the Lively Pack Lunar Explosives. It's a backpack of fireworks, okay, for those with an explosive personality. There you go. Complete the activities, fill up the bar on the adventure guide, and you get yourself the Lively Pack of Lunar Explosives transmog item. There you go. So a pretty good trading post, honestly, for what we've been seeing. Not a lot going on with the trading post lately. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit better. So buckle up for February. Yeah, should be an anniversary trading post. Is it? Maybe. I don't know why they're doing this, but it's a good one nonetheless. Okay. Stormwind and Orgrimmar, the places where you find your trading posts, are they going to start looking a little bit different? Well, Blizzard talked in an interview, I think it was with PC Mag, and they started to talk about the possibility of an Orgrimmar and Stormwind remake. That's right. So it was a PC Gamer interview with game director Paul Cubitt and manager of visual game development Gabriel Gonzalez, hinting at Stormwind and Orgrimmar redesigns. Now, we saw what they recently did with Silvermoon. We haven't actually been there yet if you haven't played beta, but I'm very excited to go to it. It looks like it took a lot of inspiration from Suramar, and the thing is, with Suramar and now the new Silvermoon, those cities look like they feel much more lively than old Orgrimmar and Stormwind do now, so maybe this rebuild is coming. Let's see what they said anyways. It was a little bit scary, honestly, to go back and tackle zones again. Says Gonzalez, regarding Silvermoon and the Ghostlands. Given the nostalgia-drenched positions within the Burning Crusade, are we going to make the right choices visually? Are we going to change it too much? Are people going to feel like we've taken something away from them? I don't think so, really. With those zones, they were so old, and nobody went to them for so long. I think this remake was a nice welcomed one. As a matter of fact, Gonzalez admits, most parts of the city, and the old city I think he's talking about here, was just smoke and mirrors. There were a lot of parts of the city that just were not there. That's not too strong to hear. When Cataclysm rebuilt much of the game's two base kingdoms for flying mounts, there were tons of zones previously only accessible via out-of-bounds glitches that were flat and featureless plains. Even without the motivation, though, Cubitt states that this is a sign of a greater things to come. We're really anxious to see how players respond, he says. If it's positive, I think it opens up a bunch more storytelling opportunities. He then tells Heather that reimaginings for more major cities of the Alliance and the Horde, Stormwind and Orgrimmar respectively, are an example of something they'd like to tackle. That would be crazy. A Stormwind remodeled after Borealis? Yeah, Borealis is a much better... You're right, like, Borealis was a much more lived-in, lively-looking city than Stormwind certainly is. I think this would be great. I would welcome this. Definitely. I think the way that they've been remaking these cities, first of all, they feel more like cities, because just the abundant amount of NPCs walking around and everything, but also the designs are all functional. Every alleyway is a real thing. Every little corner makes sense. Every little, you could go on adventures in these cities. Every room in a building is there for a reason. A lot of this stuff now is all purpose-built in these new cities, and I think I would like to see a Stormwind and Orgrimmar rebuilt with this new way of building cities put in mind. So updating the old world, they said, we know the updates to the older zones are planned for the future content updates. As Blizzard has previously mentioned, Northrend is getting a redesign in The Last Titan. We talked about that. But updates to older zones, cities, and areas are always tricky. With Cataclysm, many hardcore fans didn't enjoy several zone revamps, which in turn are partially fueled thanks to the interest of playing Classic. Likely the best approach is handling stuff like this is listening to the community as much as possible or collecting a ton of feedback. Hopefully we get some respectful updates to the old world in the coming years, and letting players return to the older versions whenever they like. One city that I would like to see get remade, because I think it's a city with a lot of aesthetic potential and everything that's never been fully realized. I think Gilneas. I think Gilneas is a really cool, unique-looking city. I've said this before on stream, and I think it deserves more love and deserves more questing and reasons to go there. We had the whole campaign with the Undead and Scarlet Crusade and all that, but that was janky as shit. Nothing really happened, and if you go back to Gilneas post the campaign, nothing has changed. That city's still empty. Detroit Detroit has gotten patch updates recently, okay? It's a much better city than people think. Thank you very much, Clarmedia. But I'd love to see these remakes. I think these city rebuilds have been going pretty well. We'll see what Silvermoon looks like. Again, I'm talking maybe ahead of myself. Maybe I won't like the new Silvermoon. But from what I've seen, I think it's going to be a nice place to be. Also, in the World Soul Saga, Blizzard teasing some other stuff. Sam's hair getting remade. Yeah, that would be nice, but I'm going to have to go to Turkey for that one. Killing major WoW characters. That's right, Blizzard hinting at the deaths of major WoW characters at the end of the World Soul Saga. In the end, death claims us all. In a recent interview with PC Gamer, design director Maria Hamilton discussed Blizzard's ongoing effort to raise the stakes and the narrative momentum that's been building since The War Within. There will be important characters that do not survive the trilogy. It'll be a lot of death, I'm afraid. Those are hard decisions we have arguments about. Is this the right time? And what will we do when the person is gone? Good question. I mean, probably the last major death in WoW that really affected me was, obviously King Varian, right? Varian's death, and we all thought it was coming. In the BFA cinematic, everyone thought, oh shit, or sorry, the Legion cinematic, everyone thought, oh shit, Varian's gonna die in the cinematic. And then he survived, only to be turned to, dust later on by Gul'dan, that piece of shit. Probably one of the most motivated times I've ever been in the game to kill a boss was killing Gul'dan for what he did to Varian. But the succession plan to Varian, was it planned very well? I don't know. Anduin, I think it's still TBD in terms of whether Anduin becomes a good king. If they kill off Anduin, I don't know what the hell they're going to do with all that. But I don't think he's going to die. Now, there's candidates out there that people do think are going to die. Some people think it could be Thrall. Thrall is like a favorite out there for, he's going to die. Thrall won't survive this thing. I don't know. Thrall is a Metzen favorite. Could they kill Green Jesus? That would be an interesting one. What happens from there? I mean, they kind of already defanged Thrall, to be honest. When it comes to the Horde, his leadership and all that, they've kind of just made Thrall not important. And I feel like maybe because Horde people still say Thrall maybe should return to the throne, they're like, well, we just got to kill this guy off to stop people from saying shit like that. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. Sam's hair already died. Also true. Besides Thrall, people think Turellian and Illyria could be candidates, one or the other, maybe both. I could imagine that, some kind of love moment where Turellian's dying there on the battlefield. Maybe wasn't saved by the light this time because he didn't believe anymore or something like that. And Illyria, holding him in his arms as she dies. Who knows? That could happen. Or the other way around, Illyria gets killed, dabbling with shadow magic too much. I don't know, finally gets destroyed by Xal'atath. Lor'themar is one for sure. Just like I said, how King Varian, you watched the Legion cinematic and you felt this unease that Varian might not make it. That's how I felt with Lor'themar. When I first saw Lor'themar in the cinematic and all the shit around him and the slow motion moments, I was like, oh shit, is Lor'themar going to survive this? They might give him the King Varian treatment where they kind of hinted at his death early in the cinematic only to kill him later on. I hope Lor'themar doesn't die. Personally, I think he's the best Horde leader of the Horde leaders right now. He's got ancient wisdom. He's cool. His personality's nice. He looks badass. I don't want to see Lor'themar die. And one thing for sure, might be controversial to say, I don't want to see any more male leaders die to be replaced by female leaders that are not well-built or fleshed-out characters. I'll be honest. Jaina can take a leadership position, sure, right? She's a badass character with a lot of cool lore behind her and really good stories built up. She's she could be the Queen of Borealis for all we know, and it could ascend the throne to Storm, whatever it is. She's a cool character. But I don't want to see anyone else's random daughter just pops out of nowhere and now she ascends the throne. Now we go through a whole character build where it's a really shitty build and all they're doing is actually destroying the old lore to prop up this new character so she can be queen or king. I don't like it. It never feels right. It feels forced every time they do it. So I'm hoping that if a character does die off, main character, that whoever the replacement is like an OG and not some fucking random new, power female, I got my side of my head shaved character. Illyria's got the side of her head shaved, but she's an oldie. Besides that, Gen Greymane stands out as a possibility. That's another one. Been there all along since Varian died. Kind of took a fatherly role to Anduin. I think Gen Greymane dying would really affect Anduin. Anduin's been through a lot of hard times in his life, a lot of death and everything else. So Gen dying, that might break him. I don't know. We'll have to see. Besides that, I don't know if you guys have any other speculations out there of who could die, who could get killed. Our Tauren leadership, I think, is stable right now. I don't think they should be touching any of that. Anduin is a bitch femboy. Look, Anduin can take his character arc could certainly change going forward, right? He could take some Manduin steps forward in this expansion. We'll see what ends up happening. But he's definitely got some more character arc development to go for sure. And for now, that is all in terms of news.